What's up, everybody? Ethan with Fight Me on this. So it's Monday today, and I got good sleep last night. Even though I really didn't think I was going to. This week, as some of you know, I have court for the police incident. This is just court for the assault. The landlord that attacked the girl, and I intervened. This is for that section. It's not for, to my understanding, it's not for what happened to me with the police officer. And even still, I don't know what's going to happen this week. And I honestly don't know how to feel about it. There's a lot of emotions. I'm still really mad that this all happened. You know, I feel for this girl who has to go to court to do all this shit against this guy who's an absolute piece of shit. You know, I have to go to court. Sarah has to go to court. And I don't know how everyone else is feeling, but I can tell you that, like, I don't feel good about it. I'm nervous, I'm anxious, but still so mad. You know, this incident, like, changed my life. You know, I'd done a lot of healing the 3 years leading up to the incident. And just, you know, for the first time, you know, I mentioned it in another video, you know, for the first time, you know, I thought my life had value. And someone in a position of power showed me that you know, it didn't matter. You know, the courts, again, about the assault, but this is bringing up, like, what do you mean this happened to me and I called for help? You know, how is your de-escalation tactic violence? You know, I don't want to get on a political rant here and talk about defunding and abolishing and all this shit. But if your only training is to draw a weapon, what the fuck are you doing with one? And this wasn't just like a private, this wasn't just a new cop, this was the supervisor on shift. And it leaves me with so many questions, like, if you're the supervisor and you know that there's multiple people at the scene where you're going to, why did you show up alone? Because his excuse to why he drew his weapon at me was that there was too many people for him to handle. And so he pulled his weapon instead, a weapon instead. It wasn't a gun. If you're ever just joining in, it wasn't a gun. He had his hand on his gun and unbuckled it. And that's when my life changed forever. I'm thankful that I watched him draw the taser instead, but it doesn't fucking matter when I'm the one under attack in front of this motherfucker's eyes. De-escalation should have been being on my side and helping me instead of a 2 versus 2, it turned into a 3 versus 1 that I was already losing. Being black in this life means that I have to play by a different set of rules. I have to think before I call for help. And some of the white people hearing me right now don't know what that feels like. Life is different when you're black, and the fact that I have to say that and spend days and time and waste energy arguing about that fact is sick to me. You know, we're looking at this Kyle Rittenhouse shit. So many white people just loving the fact that this dude walked free and telling black people that they're race baiting by making correlations for if Kyle was black and these hypotheticals. And here's the thing, you're right. He isn't black and it didn't happen to a black person. But the thing is that we are living in hypotheticals because the hypotheticals have fact and truth in them because we watch them go on every day. Well, it's a different situation. You're right. Tamir Rice was a different situation. He was just a 17-year-old kid with a fucking bag of candy, and he died. He didn't do nothing. Eric Gardner was standing there begging for his life. Put down. Post handcuffs, George Floyd. Like, why do I have to keep saying these names of people, black people murdered, and then I have to explain to you that life is different being black? But I'll put a pin in the politics. Sitting on the edge of court and having to see these people again is unnerving. You know, when it happened, in the middle of this assault, in the middle of trying to avoid the guy, the landlord, the aggressor, and the piece of shit, on the phone being told that I can only defend myself and these people if he gets close enough to me. And there were multiple times when what I know to do in positions of self-defense would have been super useful. But even in that, I have to think that I've already called the police, and there's no one here to say that this dude came at me, put his hands on me, and I put him down. So without putting my life in more danger, which I didn't know it was already in, I did nothing. And so I'm left with a dilemma on why didn't I just drop him when I had the chance? Because none of this would have happened. Except for when the police showed up, then I, would be dead. If not, wounded. Because also part two of this is it didn't happen to me because I'm fine. I'm not hurt, nothing. But I missed work. I spent over 6 months wanting to die. I am just now coming back in to do this work, to get back to some sort of semblance of normal. And every time I get close, I remember this incident taking time from me, energy, safety. A lot of the safeties that I had in place don't work anymore. I'm left being exhausted, knowing firsthand that, fuck, these people really just don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about the damage they do. And then they cry, poor pitiful me, when there's, other good cops. When you send a black cop, the only black cop on the scene, to talk to the black dude that's upstairs that just had to experience this, and then be talked down to as if it didn't just happen to me. You can see the fundamental flaws in the system. Something's got to change. Something has to change. And I, may not be the best advocate to listen to for what should happen. But for fuck's sakes, would somebody listen? Somebody. We need help. We need change. Because I am fucking tired of staring down the barrel of a weapon, chamber of a weapon, or whatever the fuck of a weapon, over someone whose training was so lacking that his first and only go-to is violence. Thank you for listening, guys. As always, I love you.